So, hi, welcome. This is our mini project that we did as a group, and today I want to explain about our coding for our mini project. So, the topic we was take was fire emergency, and okay, let me uh, explain our coding. So, for the first, we used iOS stream, F-files, stream algorithm ionic C-string and SS string limits. So these are our file headers that we used in our coding. So and then the next part is we take so we use all of this as global declaration and we declare it at global and the file and the data type that we used is int char string. So these are the data type that we used. Okay, now let's move on to our int main, our main function. Okay, so this is our main function. So in our main function, we have declared locally the details, hour, minutes, and severity scales. So this for information we set it as local declaration. So this is our first output that we put as hello, this is 911, what's your emergency? So and then for cin we used getLine. So why we use getLine? Because so that we could enter more than two words with space. Okay, and then we used looping in our coding for input our time, the time of incident took place. So in this we used this so that the user could put the time as hour and minute. So we set it as hour is less than 23 hours and minutes as 59 minutes. And then if they enter the input correctly, it will take a break and then it will exit the loop. Else, if they input incorrectly, the output will become invalid time. Please enter the time in 24-hour format. So, okay, here are some coding that we used is so that we could bring out and color in our output. And here to make the cout the cout letter to be bold. So later we will see it in our output. Okay, and then after it exit the loop, we will get into our first function, which is fire emergency. So there we will bring this function name such as details, hour, and minute. So these are the variables that we will bring it to that function. Okay, so our first function is okay here fire emergency. So here we used constraint and we used this because we want to uh, call it back because we used to void in our details and then int hour int minute. Okay, and then here we put as um, we set as details are equals to incident details and here we put uh, files. Then the files will open and it will the output in the files will be incident details and then the details of the victims and then the total victims and time as we asked our int main function and then the added victim. So and then the file will close. Okay, the next thing and then it will back to our main function and then the next thing will be victim info. So the victim info will be like, okay, this is our victim info. We used void for this function, and then int hour, int minute, and a string severity scale. So okay, these are the declaration that we did, and then we use boolean so that we could enter true or false. Okay, and then here we put C out for emergency contact so that users could input our contact details, and then we put here are some C out so that they could indicate whether your call has been tracking. Okay, and then we use looping here for ask the victim's name, and as we use getline for the cin because we could enter the full name with space. Okay, here we used looping found, and then inside looping found we used while true. So while true because we use while to enter the victim's age. The victim's age we set it as 1 to 100 because that's normal limit for ages, and then so that it could enter the age between 1 to 100, else it will give C out as invalid age and enter the age between 1 to 100. So and then this looping will continue as C found. Okay, and then the next thing is we put C out for victim's condition. In victim's condition, they will input whether the victims is alive or is the victim is like normal or something. Okay, after that we will go into add victim's name. Okay, this in this function, okay, we in this function we use void add victims and then char names. In names we use array, and I will explain it later. And int uh, const string and condition. Okay. In this we use looping um, for our this coding because we use array in names. Okay, here are some declaration that we did. Okay, and then num victim plus plus. Okay, in this files it will input, it will save it in our laptop files, and I will show it later. And then here we use set with so that it could arrange correctly when we insert or when it save our details. Okay, here are some victims names and then age, condition, and so on. Okay, and here we put as update total victim file. Okay, update. Okay, why we need this? Because in our first global declaration we declare a victim num is equals to 0. So when we need to insert it, we are having some issues. So we use the open end variable so that these are the function that we open as so that we could count the total victims and save it in files. Okay, here we use if string file read, and then these are the declaration. Okay, then we use total victims, find total victims, and then it should add new total victims. It will add into it will replace it with new total victims, and then it will close. So and then it will save it as num victims. Okay. So these are the um, variables that we use to save the information in files. Okay, after add victim names, okay, here add victim names. After that, it will ask us whether the number of victims are have more victims or not. So in that case, we used looping for that. No looping, we use selection. So that we use selection so that the cout will ask that enter a letter or press X to stop. Okay, and then in the user will input a letter, and then the letter should be X or capital X. If not, the loop will continue, or else it will stop. Okay, and then after that, this is for the victim's update, whether the severity scale is high, medium, or low. So in this one, we used while so that the user could enter these three number, um, or else it will become invalid option. Okay, and then in this we use see how to enter the severity scale out the incident, and then first, second, third. First is high, second is medium, third is low. Severity scales equals to, and then they will update whether the severity scale is high, medium, or low. So in this, to update this, we used variables, declare variables as char, because we are entering only one letter or one number. Okay, after that, if the update is equals to 1, 2, 3, it will go into the next function, which is severity scale. So the severity scale is here. Yep. Void severity scale and constant. So in this we use selection because we need to tell that if one means they will give an E out, immediately alert the system, sound the alarm and contact the ambulance. Okay. And then the second thing we use else if to update the two, and then alert the system before the severity gets too high. And then else if for update number three, which is alert the system. Okay, after this it will get back into here. Okay, severity scale string update slash one comma update. So this one will go back to add update. So add update is here. Okay, in this function we will save the update into our files. Okay, so here I used cout high medium so that it could be information, and then the severity scales will replace it with update. Okay, and then okay, and then after that, if the after that, if the username enter other character, like other than 1, 2, or 3, the the selection will be get into else and invalid option, and then it will return it back to um, severity scales incident high, low, or medium. So later I will show it in the output. Okay, uh, after that we will get into the last variable, which is print report. Okay, in print report we will just uh, place every information details that we key in, the user key in, and we use array in names, age, and condition so that it will get into a looping, and then the total victims and the severity scales. Okay, now let me show you the output of our. Okay, so now let's look at our output. So it will ask, hello, is this is 911, what's your emergency? Okay, let me key in the input, and then it will ask for time. Okay, like I said just now, if we put the time in the error, like we put like um, more than 24 hours, means like I put 45 and then here I put 78, like that means it will show an error. So invalid time, please enter a time in 24 hours format. So let me enter the time correctly. Okay, and then it will ask for the emergency contact number. So we should give our emergency contact number. Okay, and then here there will be an output which shows that your call has been tracked for your location. Okay, so let me okay, now the program is asking about the victim's name. So victim's name, age, and condition, let me type in normal. Okay, and then here, okay, here I told you guys, right, we used an looping system so that we could calculate how many victims that in that incident. So for that we use looping. So here we have a selection so that the looping will continue. So let me press A. So this will continue the looping. Okay. Then second thing is I will continue. And then I told you guys for this victims I have set a limit. I have set a limit so that if we enter more than 10 means it must show that maximum victims reach. So let me show you guys about that. Okay, for this name, let me show you whether if I put the age more than 100 means what will happen. Enter invalid age, please enter a value between 1 to 100. Okay. Okay. So we can see here that the system has told us that max number of victim reach. So that means we already enter more than 10 numbers. So I will stop this looping, and then it will ask for enter the severity scale about the incident. So high, medium or low. So let me put high. So that means these are the all victims name that I've inputted, and then here severity scale, it will come out with this statement. Rather, immediately alert the system, sound the alarm, and contact the ambulance. So this, okay, so these are the reports, and here we have severity scale one, and then the total victims are 10. As I told you guys that I have set a limit of maximum victims, which is 10. So now let me show you in our files. Okay, so this is our files. You see there's an emergency at Taman Mutarini, and then total victim is 10 time, and then these are the all names that I have inputted, and these are the severity scale. So that's all for our coding. So thank you.